dhamma, we get the sound of sun, sun. A look at the kasratains. So again, the kasratain can be written in different ways, and as we said before, we'll cover this in the Tajweed stage as well. Here we have the letter Ra with kasratain underneath it, and one thing you should know, and a lot of people don't actually spot this in the Quran, is if you have a look at the kasratain, the two kasras, they are exactly in line with each other. So we call this not staggered. And here we have the letter Waw, and if you look at the kasratain underneath it, you'll see it's slightly staggered. The first kasra is slightly behind the second one, and this is very subtle in the Quran, and many people read the Holy Quran for many years and never notice this, and it's indicating some special pronunciation rules between the two. So one's staggered and one's not staggered. So when we get into the Tajweed stage, we'll pick these out when we do some analysis of the Quranic verses. Fatatain follows the same sort of staggered and non-staggered as well. Now, some special rules with the fathatain. When fathatain is added to the Arabic alphabet letters, an extra alif is also added due to stopping rules and grammar rules. The exceptions to this rule are Hamza and the ta marbuta. Okay, so what we mean here, if you see the ta marbuta or the Hamza written at the end of a word, and they carry the fathatain, i.e. the fatha tanween, you will see it written as you can see here. So it looks exactly as you expect. Now, any other letter in the Arabic alphabet, when it is written with the fathatain at the end of a word, you will see an extra alif will be added to the letter. And this is something you'll have to get used to, and when we cover the lesson on stopping on a word or stopping at an end of a sentence, we'll see how this comes into play with the pronunciation, because it does have an effect. There's also some grammatical reasons for doing this, which you would learn in grammar. Now, what we're looking at here in the example is the letter Ba with fathatain. So again, they'll add an alif, and we've put it here twice, and you'll see that the fathatain between the two of them is slightly in a different position. In one it's on top of the alif, and on one it's on top of the ba. Both of them are exactly the same. What you'll see is in the computer fonts or the Quranic script, they may vary on where they put the fathatain itself, but it's really on top of the ba itself. So irrelevant to whether it looks like it's sat on the alif or it's on top of the ba, it will still be pronounced as you would expect. So this would be ban and ban. Yeah, ban and ban. And then with the jim, we've shown the same thing, added an alif, as you'll see it in the script, plus the fathatain. We've shown you two examples, slightly in different position, but both of those are jan and jan. Different fathatains. So the fathatain can be written in different ways, and our Tajweed stage will cover the differences. Again, it will affect how the actual fathatain is pronounced. So this is how you'd expect it. Again, the two fathatains are lined up together, they're not staggered. This fathatain is on the letter lam, and because of that they will add in this extra alif, and in this example we've taken it out of a Quranic script. The fathatain looks like it's sitting on top of the alif. This will give the sound of lan. So the fathatain is actually on the lam, it's just the way it's drawn in the script, it looks like it's on the alif. And you'll notice that the actual fathatain is staggered. The first fatha is before or slightly before the second fatha, and this will have a indication of the pronunciation in the Tajweed stage. Here we have the letter dal with the fatatain, and again they've added in the alif, but this time you see they've put the fatatain directly above the dal. However, it's pronounced as you would expect. It will be dan, and it's not staggered, indicating a special Tajweed pronunciation rule. So they're the different ways you might see it. Again, with the hamza and the ta marbuta, it will be written without the alif normally at the end of a word. Some examples then of tanween. So below is an example of the an, in and un sounds. So on top of the hamza we get with the fatatain an, with the kasratain we get in, and with the dhammatain we get un. So we have an, in, un. Example analysis, so just a few words before you go into the main practices. Here we have jan, jin and jun. With one of the tafkhim letters, so with qaf, it will be qan, qin, qun. And with lam, we have lan, lin and lun. So that was just to give you an idea how the tanween sounds operate across the alphabet. Conclusion then, we have learned what fatatain, kasratain and dhammatain are. We know the different ways they may be written, and again in the Tajweed stage we'll study all the rules for how they affect the actual pronunciation. We will know the sounds they add to the alphabet, so we know the basic sounds. There will be a bit of tweaking to the sounds in the Tajweed stage, and we understand the term tanween or nunation, i.e. just adding an N sound to our short vowels.